Hello, this is Michael Miller with Catawba Direct Marketing Solutions. Thanks for tuning in to this webinar, which is entitled Effective Direct Mail Marketing, Part 3, Enticing Offers. This webinar is Part 3 of our 3-part series on how to set up successful direct mail campaigns. The first webinar was on useful data, the second was on creative design, and this webinar we'll be discussing enticing offers. So with direct mail, we're really trying to do 3 things, which I've listed in the previous webinars as well, but this is a little refresher. We're trying to send out sales pieces with a targeted message. We're targeting a group of people, and we're asking them to do something very specific, a direct call to action that motivates and tells prospects how to respond. So whenever we're creating enticing offers, we have to create content to support our call to action. So in order to do that, many people use the AIDA writing formula, which I think works great for direct mail and a lot of different advertising type pieces. And this formula, the A portion stands for gaining attention. You do that with a headline or a graphic element. I stands for creating interest, which you promise to reveal a benefit within this copy later in their reading. The D stands for build desire, so you're showing a solution to a problem. And A is the request action, so step-by-step instructions on how to respond to the piece that they've received. Also, other elements of a successful direct mail piece is the message. You have to say what your product is about, what does it do, what makes it special, why would someone want to buy it, and what's the benefit. It's always more important to highlight the benefits rather than the features. You need to tell your audience why your product is good for them, why they need it. The audience, who will receive the mail piece, what are they after? Do you need to explain the product? What about the product is appealing? So if it's a new type of product, you might need to explain a little more about the product, so there will be more copy within that piece. If it's a product that's existed for a long time and people already know about it, you might not have to explain it so much. The third part of successful direct mail piece here is the offer. So what is the specific offer? Are you offering a special price or added bonus? What will people receive if they order now instead of waiting? So with the offer, we're trying to create a sense of urgency sometimes if we're putting a date or expiration date on when that offer expires. The offer is really used to enhance or to move forward the call to action. So if they act now, they'll receive the offer. Whenever you're getting the most out of your direct mail piece, you want to use a headline. You want to use this to grab your reader's attention in just a few seconds. Make or imply a promise of value to the reader. This is the first thing that they'll see when they look at your postcard or direct mail piece, so it needs to be enticing right away. Benefits, you need to list what's in it for the customer. You need to stress the benefits that will appeal to your audience. So once again, you're stressing the benefits rather than the features, what this product or service will do for them, how it helps them. Your call to action, there should be no doubt what the reader should do next. Try to create a sense of urgency. So call to action is often something people forget to do on their direct mail pieces. You really need to tell your customer or prospects exactly what they need to do in order to respond so there's no confusion. Often people will put a PS on a letter type mailing because often people look at the opening of a piece and then quickly skip to the PS to see what the offer is. So it's a great place to put your offer so that the people stay interested in receiving your piece. Make your content easy to read. You want to have short paragraphs. You don't want to use convoluted sentence structure. Use bullet points to easily see your main benefits and features. You keep repeating the main point in different ways so the message sinks in while they're reading your piece. And then also try to guide the reader with subheads so they know where this body of text is headed and what each paragraph is about. Your call to action. The call to action should be very clear with step-by-step instructions for what the recipient needs to do in order to get all the benefits that have been promised in the sales copy. Once again, this is a very important part of the direct mail piece. You need to tell your customers or prospects exactly what they need to do in order to respond. And a sales piece that doesn't have a clear call to action is pretty much worthless because the customer doesn't know what to do in order to respond to get the benefits of your product. If you're going to choose a response mechanism within your call to action, you could either have customers or prospects visit your website. If that's what you really want them to do, then you need to highlight your website and tell them to respond by visiting your website. Choosing too many different options or giving your prospects or customers too many options to respond can cause some confusion. So if you want a customer to call for more information, you need to make your phone number very prominent on the piece, and that would be the main call to action part of your piece for the phone call. If you want the recipient to respond via a response envelope or card, you need to make sure to clearly state how to respond with that envelope or card. Too many options can become confusing, so really try to highlight one response mechanism and go with that. So we have different response mechanisms we can use with our call to action. Sometimes you can use a return envelope. This is great for checks if you're trying to raise money for a cause, any type of donations, or maybe you can insert an actual card where they fill out an RSVP and put it in an envelope and send it back. You can prepay postage with return envelopes, so the recipient doesn't have to worry about putting a postage stamp on the piece. You're actually supplying the return envelope as well within the direct mail piece, so they don't have to worry about finding an envelope to send back. You can also use business reply cards. You can see in the bottom right picture here, there's a card in the bottom left corner of this brochure. These are great to renew subscriptions. Once again, you can prepay postage, or you could gather survey information about your prospect or customer. Often we'll perf out the card so it's easy to tear out of the piece. Another way your customers can respond, they can respond through landing pages, and those can either be static or personalized. So your landing page, just a generic landing page or static landing page, you can have them request for a quote, request for more information, have survey questions, and you can have credit card payment forms for your donations if you're trying to drive people to a website to donate or to pay for some type of product. You can see in the top right, this is just a static landing page. It's basically just a page on your website that's focused in on exactly what you're offering. It's better to send people to a landing page from a direct mail piece rather than just a general website. They might get kind of confused on where to go, and it just might be too much information. So you try to keep everything as clear and as concise as possible. In the bottom right corner here, you can see a personalized landing page. We can create these with personalized URLs that are within the data in the mailing list. So we can personalize a landing page by pre-filling forms. You can change content. You can also track everything if a person submits surveys, or if they watch a video or anything on that landing page. You can actually track to the recipient, to the individual, if they visited or not. And we do this by creating personalized URLs. So an example would be michaelmiller.catawbadirect.com. If I go to that website, I know that Michael Miller visited that website, what he clicked on, how he responded. And then the next person on the mailing list might be johnsmith.catawbadirect.com. So that first and last name within the URL tells us exactly who's visiting the page, and we can also pre-fill any information on the page. This is great for an example here. You can see for a university, they can request different information, sign up for an open house or tour of the campus, or any other thing like that. You can also use a phone number. Phone numbers are very easy to use. You can use toll-free as an easy way to respond. Your recipients are going to talk to a human being, which is nice, and you can answer questions faster and be much more direct. So on this postcard, you can actually see that the phone number is the highlighted response mechanism. Your enticing offer and sense of urgency. An enticing offer should be used along with the call to action. Offering something of high value to the customer works best and will give the extra push needed to generate the sale. A sense of urgency should be created with the offer, possibly by adding an expiration date. Getting a customer to act fast while your product or service is top of mind will help conversion rates. So basically, creating this enticing offer with a sense of urgency will increase your response rate, because the customer knows they need to respond quickly in order to get the offer. It's top of mind, and they're just going to move on the whole process quicker instead of setting your direct mail piece to the side and waiting till it's too late. So we went over a few items here on how to create a sense of urgency, call to action, using an offer, and using those three things together in order to get a better response rates on your direct mail piece. It's always good to work with a direct mail company like Catawba Direct because we stay up to date with postal regulations. We work with the post office every day. We know exactly how the mail needs to be prepared in order to meet all the regulations. We can get you the lowest possible postage rates, so we can prepare, sort, and ship your mail for the lowest possible rates. And we can offer advice when you're in the designing stage of the program that you're going to be sending out. We can offer advice on content and the most effective format for your direct mail campaign. So thanks for tuning into this short webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time.